I was at the one last week at the,
Right, thank you.
okay, so it's ready, we're ready?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, good evening, everyone. Thank
Good
you
evening,
for
Mr.
coming
Stanley.
out
Good evening.
this evening for the Environmental Protection Committee meeting. It's always nice to see you guys.
Yes.
And it is now 7:07. We will call this meeting to order. Let's see. This is 7:07. Okay, so there's no minutes for February because the meeting got canceled because of the weather, and I actually thought the same for today because it looks so gloomy out there today. So I checked, with Dante to see if anyone had called in. But, it's good that everyone is here tonight. So there's no meeting, no minutes to, approve. But we do have an agenda. That we put together here. And so tonight we are going to have well, I'm sure by now we know each other, so in terms of introductions, we can skip that for tonight and just move into an open discussion.
Let's do a word of encouragement.
Oh, your word of encouragement. Yes, indeed. We cannot
Yes.
miss that. Where is it?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Okay. Isn't that something?
The-
No, what are you looking at? Oh,
Are you
you're
looking at the whole-
something else. Okay, that's why. All right, so number 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead. You're on the
Yeah,
floor
we-
right now.
In this marvelous creation of our world, we are known not by our names, not by mysterious numbers, but we can say by our faith, our belief and understanding, our optimism for our world, and for who we are in the world, the mission to which we are called and the purpose for which we will fulfill to advance our community. We come not because of strength, but with inner passion for a world to be a better place. We come, and we will not stop coming until the sunshine is where everyone can be seen and the glory and presence of the Almighty can be observed. We thank you for the moment to be here, for Community Board 9, for the community that we walk through, live in, hope for, and work with. We thank you for our leader, Debbie, and for all that she has done to make sure the environment is what it needs to be to cover us with health and with strength and prosperity. As we meet this evening, we are asking to strengthen us so whatever we say and whatever we plan will be followed through and accomplished. When we walk out of here, we'll be armed and ready to face what our tomorrow brings, because we are on a mission and we are grounded in faith. So it is, and so it shall be, now and forevermore.
Thank you.
Amen.
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 All right. Yeah, I feel fired up right now. Okay, so I'm assuming that this may be Kendall's minutes from January.
These are January minutes, yes.
Okay, so that's fine. All right, thank you for that one. So I make a correction and say that we have January minutes, no February minutes. Okay, so in our new business, which is number 4. So we originally requested that DSNY, come and do a presentation to the full board. I haven't heard anything further on that. And I guess the program is, just moving along. I know that there are people that still don't have the garbage containers, but I haven't heard anything further in terms of.
When blue turns red, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Did Khaled or the district office of Dante, are they following up with making the I guess, the contacts with the Department of Sanitation.
Right, and I'm not sure, oh, Dante? I mean, Khalid?
He went to Dante's
Or he-
office.
or- Any updates on, the DSNY proposed presentation to the full board?
No updates on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anyone reach out? Did Dante reach out?
He might have. He didn't leave a note for me, so I don't know.
Okay.
Can you just put a note for yourself, just for Dante to follow up?
Right, because
Yeah,
when I send an agenda to the board, it's always good to look at what's on there so that sometimes I'll say CB9 staff. So it means that, if there's any information that came in, it would be good to attach it to the agenda.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you for that. Okay, so hopefully we'll get a response by our next meeting or before on that one. So I will now turn the floor over to Mr. Herbert, who will be speaking about an audit report
Yes.
from DEP and fire hydrants.
Yes.
Repairs, which we know and see them all the time. If they're not running constantly, there's nothing on the top.
Mhm.
So, without further ado, I will turn the floor over to you, Mr. Herbert.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I did, as you know, I'm looking through a series of audits.
Yes, yes.
Right, to see
I have
if these audits were reviewed, and if the responsible department followed up on the recommendations and implementation.
Right.
If not, why? All right, so with this particular audit, this audit is on the repair of fire hydrants throughout the city.
Right.
All right, so throughout the city, there's about 110 roughly fire hydrants throughout the entire city. Right? And the DEP is responsible for maintaining all of this equipment, and they maintain it primarily for the fire department in order to fight fires, in order to mitigate any damage due to a fire and so forth. So with this audit was a performance audit, and what it did, a group of auditors went to Brooklyn, I think it was Brooklyn and Queens, and they did a spot check on how they're doing as far as timely repairs on auditing, timely repairs on fire department equipment, record keeping, filling out work orders, and addressing those work orders. So the audit was very interesting. I made sure that it was sent out to everybody. And I have to say that the audit was not the greatest that I reviewed. It showed that there are in some instances, there are time standards that the DEP is following, but there are some timeliness standards that are not being followed and not being recorded. All right. One of the things, because I remember I mentioned, I take a look at page 17 on this audit, and within the audit,
Good evening.
Good evening. All right. You know, within the audit, there was something that I saw that was quite troubling. And just feel free to sign in. And you might, Isaiah, you might want to move down so that she can see. Yeah. So now we just want to make sure that you're aware there is a camera right behind you. So that's why we can have a seat right over here. So that's.
All right, this is environmental.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Okay,
All right,
Yes,
welcome.
good evening, yes.
Welcome. And you are, man?
good. Amy
Amy?
Jacobs,
Amy J.
Amy.
yeah, sorry I'm late.
It's
I
okay.
actually got lost.
Ooh.
No, I went to the wrong block and it was all that fire truck activity.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's over here actually, as I was coming out there somewhere.
Well, we're glad that you made it.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so one of the things with regards to the recording, I just want to read something here within the audit. It says the June 30th, 2019 list of all hydrants, including 1,429 hydrants that the department identified as out of service, almost 1,000 more than the DEP listed in the 438 operative list. So in other words, you know, 438 jobs in their queue to repair fire hydrants. but there were another 1,000 that they had that were not in the queue. Right? And so what happens, that skews the monthly mayor's report that is put out that shows that they're operating within the specified time frame for reports. So if you don't include the 1,000 more units, it skews the numbers. Right? And also, one of the findings in this report was the completed work in the field, the date of the completed work preceded the work order for that particular job that had to be done. So they did the work, completed it, and then they filled out a work order and then closed it out.
Well, that's if the work was done.
Right. So that's what they did. Isaiah, you look a little perplexed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it should be the other way around. The work order is done, and then you do the work, and then you close out the work order. When you do it backwards, that it makes it difficult to keep people accountable.
Correct. So that's what were some of the findings in this audit. All right. So it was an interesting read. And what it is that there could be locations where you may have a block or two and there's no fire hydrant protection
Yeah.
for the buildings. So that means the fire department's relying on the water that they have in the engine,
Yeah.
on the fire truck, in order to put out the fire. All right.
Which means that, if they use that up and the fire is still not responsive,
Well, I'm sure if that does happen, they probably bring another.
maybe they'll probably have another
Another
or
truck that
whatever
they
come
can.
in. Yeah,
Right, but it's a concern.
it is.
Right? It's a concern. And also, there were some communication issues within the audit. Because what happens, the fire department works in conjunction with the DEP to inspect hydrants to determine if they're operable or not. So sometimes, I don't know if you notice, when the fire department responds to a location, and let's say it's a medical emergency but not a fire, right? One of the firemen go out there and they open up the hydrant to make sure the water's running. That's part of the inspection, right? And then they turn around and relay that back to the DEP. This was inspected, all is okay, and then that's taken off the list. But within here, there was a little bit of confusion between both departments as how to classify the repair or proposed repair of the unit. Whether it is supposed to be a priority repair, meaning it's done like right away, a repair that needs to be done but can wait like 60 days, and then you also have units that have to be repaired up to 365 days. So there was some concern of how it was classified, each one, because one department's not really talking with other departments. And also the biggest thing is that you have people that retire, people leave, and then information is not transferred over to the new bodies that come on board. And so it's just constant training, constant communication, which was cited within this audit, which has to be improved. Right. So altogether, there were a number of.
And I also want to add that, this was like during 2020, so it might have been a lot going on as well during that time.
Right.
So.
It was 2020, but the information that they reviewed was 2019. Right. So yes, I would say yes, that would be a concern if information was, for 2020 documented information. This is 2019, before all this happened. So, they have, and there were some recommendations. Right? In June of 2020, there were a total of 14 recommendations that the auditing department recommended that the DEP should implement. And it looks like, from what I read, just about all of them, the DEP agreed that they should do this. And I believe that right now it is time for another audit in order to see if they, first of all, update the responses to the audit, right? If they did implement, what did they implement within these 14 recommendations? Right? And if they did, what are the new stats now? Right? Are they correctly identifying between the fire department and the DEP all of the proper classifications for the repair? And their timely response. Because if you have units that are held in the back, 1,000 plus, and they're not documented, then technically that's not a timely repair. But those are just hanging out there for God knows how long. Right, so, as I said, it was a very interesting audit. It wasn't a good one, but
I think we should draft a letter with, inquiring about, the status of the 14,
the 14 recommendations.
recommendations. And, just to find out whether there's an updated version to this, or where are they with the recommendations.
So the last time we did this with the sanitation department, we sent a letter, we did a resolution, right, for the sanitation department to respond to all of the, I think what we should have done, that should have gone to auditing.
Yes,
Yeah, like,
Yes.
we sent it to the
yes,
wrong group.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I believe that,
So, yeah,
make a motion that we draft a resolution,
and send it, yeah.
And send it to
The auditing
auditing.
Department of DEP.
and we're going to request that a follow-up audit be performed, as well as, which will include all the updated responses to the 14 recommendations that were provided and agreed to by the DEP.
Yeah. I agree totally. Does anyone have any
Any questions?
concerns or questions about that recommendation?
No, at least we have a document that we are responding to.
Yes. So someone has to second it?
I second it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll put together I started putting together like a draft resolution, but I got pulled away from what I was doing. I'll have that all ready for the next meeting. Then you can review, and if it's okay, put it in final form, and then we'll bring it before the general board, and they can vote on it as well.
Yes.
So I wonder, is there any publicly available information on the status of fire hydrant repairs? Like, could you hypothetically look up, like there's a hydrant in front of my house, can I look up when the last time that was repaired or when the last time it was inspected? Is there any information publicly available about that?
Probably on open data.
Yes.
Right, on open
Yeah,
data.
open data,
Yeah.
that information is within the open data portal, under, I forgot the name, paraphrasing, fire hydrant repairs or equipment repairs. But
Yeah.
yes, it is there, and I did go on, to see what was updated, what not. And, the information is there, but we don't know how accurate it is
Exactly.
based on what was put in. It also has the work orders that were generated, how long the equipment has been out there, pending repair, and so forth. Right. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you for your report, Mr. Herbert. And I believe we have a guest here tonight. If you wanna,
Here, what I'm here for?
So you might want to
introduce yourself.
Yeah.
and you
And
want to let
then-
everybody see your face and not the back of your head on
Yeah,
the.
because the
Oh.
camera's
Oh.
right here.
Okay. I'm like, what?
So you might wanna turn this chair this way. Yeah.
I'll sit right here.
Yeah.
Well, you would have been able to hear me better being closer to me.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty good microphone there. So my name is Billy Martin, and I'm with Youth and Education Committee. And I just wanted to update some details on 2 the events that we have coming up. We do have a job fair, as mentioned, at the last general board meetings. This flyer that's actually up here, this flyer is to volunteer to you know, be a part of the event, helping out with vendor registration, sign-in, and so on and so forth. This what this flyer is, and people seem to be under the impression that this is the actual event flyer, and this is their hounding Dante with needing more details. This is not the event flyer. This is just to sign up to volunteer for
Okay.
the event. And if you know any vendors who are interested in setting up, this is also the QR code to sign them up as well. The audience that we're reaching out for is 14 to 24, and there'll be all different a variety of workshops for 14 to 24. If you know of anyone who wants to present as well, this is the QR code to sign up for, and we'll be at Prospect Heights High School.
Okay, so this was sent out on the e-blast, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and folks, let's go straight what it But this event, and that will be, it was scheduled for March 15th. Unfortunately, it's being pushed back for an April date, and we'll have the April date by the next general board meeting.
Okay, fine.
This event is March 5th. This is an education town hall. We're inviting everyone to have an open dialogue about education in our community. We are aiming for.
No, it is cool. You just,
Yeah?
you walk away, you walk away.
We're aiming for panelists in the education field to, you know, join the conversation. Principals and superintendents, attorneys, mental health specialists, anyone that's in, you know, who's youth and education driven. We're inviting them to this conversation. I am particularly looking for like, I guess you would call A1 parents who, you know, people may be over. I would like to invite those individuals a part of this as well. And if you know anyone that would like to join the panel, there's a QR code for that. And the RSP for the panel is a QR code for that. This is a definite, this is not being postponed. This is April 5th, and this will be at Clara Barton High School. There are no more. I'll have some print out some more. This will be in this week's e-blast, this flyer.
So has this information gone out to the schools in the community?
It will be.
Okay.
Yes, it will be.
That's important.
As well as, you know, the CECs and the, you know,
CEC
those groups as well.
And if you know anyone that would, you know, any particular one that you think that we should maybe highlight, just let us know. That QR code or email Dante. He knows he has my email address.
Okay.
So just send it
And
from there.
give me your name again?
Billy Martin.
Really, quick question.
Yeah.
So the job fair, how often, is this the first time that this is being
No.
done? Okay.
This apparently this is my first time going on it.
Okay.
But
this
it's
is the
happened
sec-
before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
happened
been
last
happening.
year. They had one last year, and so this is the second one. They want to make it an annual thing.
So it's just an annual, once a year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the town hall meeting at Clara Barton, this is
A first time thing.
this is a first time.
Yeah.
And this here is to elaborate more on the job fair or
No,
just,
a separate,
just a
Two
separate?
separate events.
two separate events.
And this is April 5th,
Mm-hmm.
and the job
And
fair
this one
is
is pending,
It's
an
pending.
April date.
For a later April date.
Yeah.
no March, huh?
No more. It would have been March if I had my way.
He's probably planning to go somewhere.
Yeah. So if you know any vendors that are interested in setting up for the job fair, or you know anyone in particular that would like to join the panel, just QR code them up.
Do you have a lot of vendors already, or has anyone shown interest, or?
I think so far, but I think that's one of the reasons why it's being pushed back, because they would like more available vendors on site, and also folks that particularly help with like resume workshops and presentations and job fairs and job preparation and so on. So I think that's we want more, not just one person on the same company, open on a variety of choices.
Well, you know, I'm a member of the NAACP, so I'll reach out to the education committee and see
Yeah.
if anyone is interested from there, and
Absolutely.
absolutely I will do that.
Yeah, because they're gung-ho on it now. You have no choice.
So this is to teach them how to apply for a job, or there's gonna be people there offering jobs?
Offering jobs, teach them how. There's going to be a job interview workshop, proper attire, how to present yourself on social media, job interviews. So there'll be a variety of workshops through the day. and then there'll be like a presentation at 2:00 of the vendors doing a quick brief presentation of their companies.
Is it all private or is government offices gonna be offering jobs as
If they
well?
want to sign up, sure.
Mm.
And it's free to everybody, isn't it? Nobody's charging nothing.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Who are some of the private companies that are involved in the job fair?
I don't know.
You know, okay.
I'm actually a part of the subcommittee for the town hall,
Okay.
but being that it's all under youth and education is why I'm here. But I don't know so far who's who and what's what for the career day.
Okay. That's important to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know, which companies are coming to
the job fair.
take part.
Right.
That's important.
Right, I mean, in other words, there should be like companies that can offer a decent kind of, you know, appropriate job.
Well, if you know someone, if you know the contact of someone that they can reach out to, just put it on there and they'll be reached out to.
so the committee hasn't decided which direction they want this information to go? Because I mean, there's a lot out there, it's
Back to
just,
our
no, just not just a code, but in terms of, you know, your committee discussion, when you have your meeting or whatever, what is a thought process in terms of where you want this to go, whether you want it to go to MTA, whether you want it to go to HRA, or, you know, so,
Well, I don't think our focus is in like direct the youth into one field of study, like any job particular. It's just to make sure that they understand that this is how you present yourself as a professional, and this is how, you know, the steps you need to proceed to be
Well-
successful in whatever you want to do. So it's not like we're having just some medical vendors or
no, I'm just saying as a whole, you know, because if it has to do with them learning to write a resume or put a resume together to trust, so that means that you're looking more or less for people that do like career
driven.
type,
Career
career
readiness.
driven,
Yeah.
you know, business.
Yeah.
So
Career
that's what I
readiness.
would look at. I mean, I would do research to see how many there are out there and try to, you know, maybe send this information to them and see what kind of feedback you get.
Keep clear on that.
Yeah, because, you know, it's, we're in March, and before you know it,
April will be.
yeah, so, you know.
Not much time left. Not much
You
time.
don't, yeah, this is something that you have to plan, you know,
Finish
well in
it.
advance.
Yeah.
It's not just, fun and pace.
So if you know anyone that
But if
would
I
like to be
get- yeah,
interested,
I
just
definitely
sign
will.
up and they'll go from there.
Okay,
But the town hall one,
That's happening.
I'll
Definitely
go
happening.
for that.
okay,
That'll be going.
sounds good.
So thanks for the conversation, everybody.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Thank you for the update.
Huh?
Thank
Thank you
you.
for the
No
update.
problem, no
Yes.
problem. Folks kept
Um,
mistaking and misunderstanding what that flyer was for job fair, so.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, so,
Okay.
Well, they don't say that.
alright, so we are now on item C on the agenda. And what I did was, you know, I was online and, you know, looking up some environmental, organizations, that maybe we can, you know, network with, and I came up with, you know, some of them that I put on here, just in case you guys wanna look at it, so, you know, it's for your information purposes. And then maybe if something, you know, makes sense, we can always reach out and, you know, connect with some of these organizations to see what they are doing and how we can be, you know, a part of that journey, or, you know, bring them into our community, depending on what they're doing, so that we can do some of that stuff here.
This is interesting. So the environmental conservation, the last one, these are volunteer groups or?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions about that, or any comments, any recommendations? If not, we will move on to old business.
Okay, yeah.
And,
Straightforward.
again, you know, as we did mention to,
That's from January.
to pass information on to Dante about the containerization project, or program rather. And, I don't believe the, letter sent to DSNY, we received any feedback. I think Kendall did that?
Kendall.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah,
he was
so he's
involved.
not here, so hopefully we can get his feedback in April, because he'll be here and we'll have the paint care person presenting then. And also I got a message today that DEP
Mhm.
would like to come and present on floods.
Oh, that would be great.
Remember we asked
Yes.
that, requested that. So I suggested that they do it since it has to do with flooding, and I think everyone should know
We're
what's
going
going
into
on
the
with that.
season too.
It should be done, you know, presented to the board,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently it was thrown back at me, so I, you know, said that I would have, add the two presentations on the April agenda. So we'll do that.
And it's regarding flood mitigation. I just want to.
What did it, I believe it said flooding, the
Okay.
email that I read, yeah.
It's probably flood mitigation.
So, I think it's the borough, might be the borough commissioner that's coming
Oh.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, but, yes, I'll add that to the next agenda.
Oh, I know someone who would really like to be here. That's what I'm here.
Oh, I know too, I know too,
I will pass on
yes.
the word.
All right, so I'll add that to the agenda, for
And
the
that's in
next
April?
meeting. April meeting, yeah.
Okay. Not for nothing, I just want to go back to on the minutes, what I noted, and I didn't think this would be something good.
Yeah,
With the paint recycling, which was item, 4C, right? Kendall
Yeah.
gave a website with regards to where you can find locations, in order to
yeah,
drop
I
off.
looked, yeah, I went on there, and there's a number of locations, so, you know.
This would be good, to put in an e-blast or to get it out there.
Yeah, well, once we compile everything and decide,
Okay.
we can put that information on the flyer and have the, have it on the e-blast.
Because I had no idea about this. And I looked
Right,
and said, I
right.
could have gotten rid of the paint sooner, so
Right.
I'm holding on to it.
No, it made me think,
you were
what
there.
else can we, it made me think what else we can get
I thought about that
into
myself.
in terms of getting stuff that people may have sitting
Absolutely.
in their homes that they want to get rid of and can't get rid of, so that's a good
Absolutely.
topic for discussion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
So, and in old business item C, it's just, question about, what goals or if any we want to set for the next 4 months. But I don't think, thinking about the stuff that we have going on now and with the audit report and the pain care thing, hopefully we might be able to get something started before the summer. For the next 4 months, I'm saying we don't want to put too much on our plates
Well,
where
let
we
me ask a
cannot.
question, Debbie. I mean, the streets here are filthy.
They are.
No, really, and we have people come and, there are gas. So, I mean, really, what can we be doing?
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what? I think people need to clean up after themselves and don't
Right, well,
expect
they-
someone else to do it.
I agree.
I
but I'm
clean up
saying
my
that's
block
what they-
after my neighbors and sometimes after people's dogs. So I think each individual responsible for cleaning up after themselves and don't expect someone else. I recall last summer we were out here, a group of us from the education committee, and we started on Franklin and we broke up into, and I was doing Nostrum and we went all the way
All right,
down.
now shouldn't these business owners, in other
They
words,
are responsible
so
for
when it's
cleaning up.
nothing is being enforced.
So it's more or less enforcement, so maybe we can look
I
into,
think we need to look into it, cause it's,
so I can,
That's,
yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
the streets are filthy.
Yes,
I think they've gotten worse over the years.
yeah, I do, I
You
see you.
agree?
Yes,
mean,
So I will, Khalid?
That's the face of the neighborhood. You have a business and, you clean out those little cutouts by the trees and,
Absolutely,
it
yeah.
doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Jacobson brought up a good idea about, the streets, the condition, because sometimes I'm walking down here and some of these businesses stuff, I think last week, there was a whole bunch of blue stuff, pieces, big pieces or stuff just blowing all over. So, if I'm not sure what
Then they
Do you have
should-
any images?
DSNY.
What?
Do you have any pictures you took, or?
No, she's just talking
I'm
about
just
in
saying,
general, the streets are
the
filthy.
streets are filthy.
So
Okay.
maybe some type of
And it's
enforcement.
especially on the business streets.
On the business
Yeah.
streets?
The
Okay.
Nostrand, Kingston,
Yes.
Troy, and where there's businesses. It's definitely, it's really out of hand.
Okay,
And it's not helping any of us.
yeah.
I know we're getting the containers,
Yeah.
but still, if you have a business and you're serving, ice cream and this ice
Whatever
cream,
it is.
whatever it is,
You are responsible for your, yeah.
You are, but no one is.
Okay, so, it's more or less enforcement because I
Yeah,
guess,
we could reach out to DSNY, and if
Yeah.
your neighbors if they want to send pictures to us, that helps the case as well.
So where would the pictures go?
We also to the email, and we can forward it over to the.
The email, whose email?
I can give it to you right now.
CB9.
We
Oh,
really just
okay,
need to
great.
get, Mr. Wiseman was talking about getting the local person, the local chief in charge of DSNY to come and speak to the committee. We have to do that because he's been trying to get them for ages. They need to come out here and speak to the committee. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
it's,
so-
It's either that or we need a bid in the area.
yeah, that's
Because
all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think we have that.
We don't. No, I
So
think
maybe
there's
we,
one. I think what's the one down Flatbush? There's a bid by
There's a
Flatbush,
Flat-
but there's
right.
not one for this
Right.
part of Nostrand. That's right.
so maybe that would, alleviate some of the, because every business should be responsible for keeping their storefronts clean at all times. But I don't know what happens, sometimes people may be digging up, even when you put your garbage out there, thank God we have containers now. So, they would tear the bags open,
Yes,
take out
they do.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I
it
just
goes
leave
on,
it,
yeah.
so
They're
it's
saying
like,
they're looking for stuff.
And then why does the homeowner have to pay for that?
right,
And see, because I made a report to the office. When they come and it's like that, they give us a ticket.
right, and that should
But then if
be,
you complain that the streets aren't clean, every time they come out, they ticket you.
right,
Because, and I told Ante, it's like a revenge kind of thing. Okay, so you're complaining to 311, okay, we're gonna give you tickets.
okay, so you know what, when I put out my garbage, I would take a picture of what I put out and, how it was put out, because, if that's what they're doing,
That's
then
exactly
the
what they did.
picture doesn't lie, so I'm providing you with what my garbage looked like before someone came and, did what they had to do.
It's crazy.
But,
So-
yeah.
I did speak to Dante about it.
Mhm.
It's just like, if you want to make a complaint that the streets are too dirty and you need to take care of it, they're upset that you're calling in.
But
So when they come
that is the
out-
purpose of calling 0311.
Yeah. So what they do is they come out and for no reason, they can give you a ticket.
Well, that shouldn't be because,
It should not be, but it's what I went through.
Wow.
It's exactly that's why I called.
So
And we knew the only reason we got it is because we have been calling 311 and saying this isn't done, Why is it not picked up? You know,
Right.
and they became upset.
But what you need to do sometimes, as opposed to calling 311, call DSNY 8 or 9. I think this is 8.
Yeah, not 9.
9.
So
So
just
And
put it
they are very
DSNY
good
9?
with that. Huh? Yeah.
What's that, 889?
Yeah, it's 809, 'cause that's the,
So you just
district.
dial 1-809?
No, wait. I'll give you a number.
Okay, give me the number, please.
Okay, North 9,
Mhm.
718 284
718.
284
Uh-huh.
2467. Just call the chief or whoever answers the phone and let them know what's going on. They're very good with that.
No, they are.
Yes.
Okay.
When I
They
have a problem,
always, when
them,
I call, they
yeah.
always come send somebody.
Yeah, no, they're good. They are.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
just call that number instead of calling 311.
All my garbage is out right now, but it's in the can.
Yes,
That's how we set it out.
yeah.
I remember at the last meeting you had mentioned that they gave you got a ticket or a summons for, because you, what was it, they took your garbage?
Our garbage was stolen. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Garbage
container.
can.
Yeah.
Can was sold, were you able to follow up on that? What?
Well, the person who stole it moved from the neighborhood. That's what I can tell you.
Oh my God.
So we just went, okay, I was moving, I took it with me, it's now
Oh
mine.
my God.
It's amazing.
Oh boy.
It's amazing. It's
Well,
like,
thank God they moved. Hopefully wherever they went, they're not going, they're not going to be able to do something like that.
oh,
I just want to piggyback on Ms. Jacobson. That's
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you're absolutely right with regards to the condition of the streets, the businesses, and so forth. It truly is a lack of enforcement. Right? I mean, I've been around this neighborhood for a very long time, and I can tell you that enforcement all around is lacking.
Yes.
I mean, I have a vehicle. Everybody knows these vehicles that are on the streets that don't move drive me insane.
Oh, Mr. Herbert.
Drive me insane. Right? So I have a dump truck, and I know who the owner is. I know who he is. Right? I'm just waiting to get some more tickets. I'm going to knock on his door. But his truck has been parked on Troy Avenue for 6 months.
Oh my God.
It hasn't moved. So now, sanitation, they weren't ticketing it. Traffic wasn't. I spoke
But
to the
that's
traffic agent
crazy.
today.
They're supposed to ticket that vehicle.
Correct. So out of all the tickets that I have submitted, I submitted about 30 tickets on this one truck. Right? They only came out, and there were only 6 summonses that were issued. Right? So because they close them out, it's not a jurisdiction, or they get there too late. Alternate site has already ended. I throw in tickets for overnight commercial parking. I do every night. And they know my name.
I'm sure they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So, but there is an issue with enforcement. So once I get enough tickets, I'm going to go right down to the precinct. I'm going to have Dante send a letter also as well, and I'm just going to go up the chain because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the streets are not clean, and now the DEP is coming to give a flood mitigation presentation. Okay, so now if you can't clean the streets because there's garbage underneath the truck, if it's going to rain hard, we're going to get into that season.
There you
So
go.
the catch basin's going to be all clogged. Right?
Even here on what's that, Montgomery?
Mhm.
On the corner, that side. It's always a ponding there and a lot of.
Yeah, every
I don't know
time.
what it is, but I brought it up on numerous occasions. But it's like, I was looking at it the other day, it's like, I don't know what it is.
So that sounds like a grading problem. In other words, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
when
not
they
graded
do the
to
streets,
be-
yeah.
So they have to regrade the street.
Yeah, and
so
that
it goes
happens
into-
with a lot of those, the streets going down
Yeah.
on the corners, like by the side, the crosswalk and, so I don't know. how
So
they-
is that a 311 complaint, or is that you need to do, how do you?
That's a 3-on-1 complaint. So what happens if the street grade has been altered, right? It's the DOT has to come out and they have to regrade the street to get the proper grading because that's part of the storm water management plan.
Yeah,
Right? So it has to grade. In other words, if you have a catch basin there and the water's not flowing in it, it's useless.
right,
So
exactly.
then you're ponding, and the biggest thing is that during the winter weather, all that turns to ice.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the biggest safety hazard that's there, and that's why you want to make sure that stormwater management is very important, especially in our climate.
yes. Totally agree.
So I have one more question that I want to ask you though, because I think you can answer. Why is we have these major trucks on Brooklyn Avenue, all up and down? I don't know if I live in a parking lot or if I live in Crown Heights.
They're parked along the street,
Yes.
or they're in transit.
No, they're not in transit. They're there. I can take pictures.
Where are they parked?
Are you,
Just tell me where. Brooklyn and where?
Brooklyn from Eastern Parkway coming all the way down to.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Because you have
So what do we do with that?
you have to, first of all, vehicles, commercial vehicles. Any vehicle that's over 10,000 pounds is registered as a commercial vehicle.
Know that I
Commercial
know.
vehicles are not allowed to park on city streets from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Right? And what you have to do is submit 311 tickets, just one or two, on each one of those vehicles, and then bring them into Dante. And then we get in touch with Police Officer O'Connor, right? And then we have to have a plan in order for a tow operation to take place to move these. Now they'll say that they really don't have a space to place all of these, but I've seen tow operations go on at other precincts, and they go quite frequently. Within the command of the 71st precinct, I don't see those that much. But right now, start with a ticket, all right, from 9 o'clock. Put it in there. And my phone is set for 9 o'clock every night. And I got 6 tickets I write every night at 9 o'clock. Every night this goes off.
I wanted to bring it to the big board too, because I know that there are people there who understand that they see it too, but nobody is saying anything.
So I
You know?
went to.
And
I'm sorry.
it's unfair. I couldn't park my vehicle there and leave it. I
Correct.
couldn't. And so these vehicles, we know, don't belong to the average person in the community. So how do we work that?
That's the thing. I just don't-
You feel like you drive out from your driveway and you drive to the corner and you turn on Brooklyn Avenue and you don't know where the hell you are. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
It's double.
And it's been going on for years. It's been going on for years.
but see, nobody calls.
Want me to set your phone
Allow
for 9,
it, you know.
from 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock every day, it goes off, and you go on 301 and you put in the ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, an iPhone. Oh my God. Okay. Use your. Here we go. We're gonna set this alarm here.
So that's 9 a.m. or
No.
p.m.?
PM. 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So.
Okay.
Oh, so the overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't park overnight. It's the first ticket is $250. Within 6 months, if it's a repeat, it's $515.
It's been years.
Yeah, so you have to get that. That's why you have to get it on there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you
You
have
pay
to
your
get it on.
taxes, but you look like you're living in a parking lot. What kind of nonsense is that?
You have to. You have to do that. Like I said this every night. So you and I.
Oh, my time, I know how to do it. Go ahead.
You and I, we can have a conversation every night at 9 o'clock.
My husband is stupid.
Oh.
You know, you'll be like, Debbie, I'll tell you, like, 9 o'clock, you talking to him again?
Oh my
Oh, no, that's the
God.
guy with the whatever. Whatever. He's a Trini. So you know, he's not playing that. He's like, oh, okay. So now you're responsible for the garbage?
You talking to
You gotta
that
move
guy
the car,
again?
you gotta move the truck.
Gonna go every night, 9 o'clock.
And then he would definitely ask, well, what is he gonna do about it? What is he gonna-
Yeah, but send those in, and you know.
Yeah.
He's really a sweet person, though. He's,
Because what happens when you send in the tickets, what they don't like is that it skews their numbers, because they track all this, and they get
Yeah, you have to
reports.
track it, yeah.
And so when they see my 6 tickets a night or whatever,
They don't like that.
they don't like that. send them every night. I don't care. But I'm gonna work with Dante to have those moved.
Yes.
I think I have enough tickets now in the system,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna start.
So you have all the numbers?
Oh yeah. I sent him an email the other day.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I guess that's one of the goals, right, to increase enforcement or work with DSNY to increase enforcement
Right.
in the district.
So
That
me
seems to
sending
be
the
the
ticket,
problem.
you sending the
Is
ticket.
it?
Somebody
Yeah.
else sending the tickets. Well,
Right, because if we send in the tickets and there no enforcement happens, there's no purpose in sending in the tickets. It's a waste of time and energy.
Right, but it's more or less calling, like I say, calling North 9.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good. I like that. But yes, enforcement is needed, and people have to be better stewards of the environment. And, you know, people are just not. Some are not.
Can I
Yeah.
have Kendall's
I
number?
mean, because when you look at, I don't have Kendall's number.
I'll ask him.
Khalid should have
Yeah.
his email. I don't know if he has his number, but
I'm gonna ask him.
yeah, because usually he'll email me.
Yeah, we have some smart boards
Yeah.
that are outdated.
That you want to,
That
okay,
we, yeah,
that you want,
that we-
okay, so
yes.
he should be able
When-
to.
when we-
Yeah,
when we furbished
yeah,
the school, all those equipment you can't. put
okay,
out.
okay, okay,
So
yeah.
they can use it.
All 3-on-1 tickets have been submitted.
Oh my God.
I just keep submitting. That was that.
But you don't have any space. You can't get a love letter. You got too many tickets.
Oh my God.
Tickets on my
Alright, so are there any additional questions or concerns that we need to talk about?
Well, it's really for the Department of Sanitation when they do come. The
Right.
street sweepers, again, it's all part of enforcement. You know, they're not really cleaning the streets.
But years ago, they used to, when the sweeper came, there was always a vehicle with a supervisor in it, following.
Following, yes.
Right, but I don't know what's going on now.
The biggest thing now, what I see, the street sweepers, they don't use water.
Right,
Yeah.
And it was evident with this recent snowstorm we had with all the salt residue that was on the ground.
yes,
And it was just a dust cloud.
yeah,
Trails of dust clouds
Yeah.
following these things. I always cross the street when I see one coming because otherwise you just get smack dab with dust all over you.
And the biggest thing now is dust particles. Anybody has breathing
breathing
concerns,
issues, yep,
allergies,
yes,
asthma,
I can
whatever,
vouch,
that can trigger that.
yeah,
And so they have to start using water
Again.
again. And so when we have this presentation, that's
Yeah.
one thing that has to happen. And what they'll probably say, you know, it takes them time. They have to pull over. They used to fill up the street sweeper from the hydrants. You know, but they're trying to get as many streets as they can. No, they have to use water because
You
this
have
was
to,
evident.
When,
that's an environmental
because they
issue.
usually do water and we don't know when they stop.
Oh, that's my 8 o'clock alarm. I got one.
Oh, boy.
That's different. That's something.
That's a different.
That's a different alarm. That's a different one. That's for something else.
Okay. We got
Okay,
it.
so, yeah, so,
So I'll get started on working with the proposed resolution
right,
for the,
And the letter will be sent out for the 14 requests.
yeah, we're gonna do that with the
Okay.
resolution.
Okay.
Have the Office of the Controller perform another audit and follow up on
right,
all
so
the
we have to make sure
recommendations.
that it goes to the
Okay,
right
So it's
person.
been 5 years. Let's
Yeah.
see what they've done.
Although he's trying to run for mayor, now, Springer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, okay, so if there is no further questions
I just
or
want to
comments,
send my condolences to my little son right there on the passing of Hazel Duke.
Hazel,
Yes.
yeah.
Mama
Hazel
Dukes.
Mama
Yeah.
Dukes, yeah,
Mama Duke.
she's
We
been
were
around
hanging
for a
out this
long
last year
time.
together.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in Jamaica
mm.
Oh.
at an economic conference.
Yeah, she's been around for a
Yeah.
long time, yeah.
Yeah, she was a type. There's nobody who didn't know who Hazel Dukes was.
Yeah.
When did she die? A couple of days.
Yeah.
The first day of
92.
March.
Yeah,
The
she
first
died,
day of
yeah.
March.
Yes,
March
92. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
Yes, we've lost a great giant, I
Yeah.
can tell you.
we're losing them one by one,
Yeah.
yeah. So, without further ado, I will, well,
You can't move.
so,
I move for you to adjourn.
okay, so let me just say, you know, in terms of our next agenda, as I mentioned earlier, so we're gonna have two, presenters, the pain care and the, DEP, on flood,
Flood mitigation.
mitigation. So just so you guys know what's gonna be on there ahead of time, and, so if anyone else has anything else, but I think that should be a full meeting with those two presenters.
Okay.
So if no further questions or concern, I will give the floor to you to make your,
Oh, I move that we should adjourn.
okay.
I second.
Okay, so it is now
The ayes have it.
8:02 PM. I will adjourn this meeting.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
All
Did
right.
anyone want to take a picture of this or take it?
It's online. I got it online.
Oh, okay.
I have it online.
Ms. Jacobson, thank you for coming.
Did you sign in?
Yeah,
You signed in?
So,
yes, sir, yeah.
so you know, you said you got laws coming here, so you know
Yeah,
going
I
back
just-
what you
I thought
need to
we were
do.
between president and union. That was the problem.
Where are you, Miss? Where are you?
Where am
Where do
I?
you live?
I'm on Albany and Crown.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
you're down.
So
Yeah,
you're
so
here
in
and
other words,
over.
I just walked up an extra block because I wasn't here in like 3 months.
I know, I haven't seen you.
So, we didn't have a meeting last month.
We didn't have a meeting
Yeah,
last
I could
month.
not make January because it was rescheduled, so that's what happened.
And then I think you had to go to the precinct council or
No, I was
something.
gotta go to yeah, that was
Right.
January.
January, right.
But anyway, next month we'll have daylight, so that will help.
Okay, great, yeah. Good.
Absolutely.
I'll just make a copy of this.
How far? I know you go down with it. How far do you go, lady?
This kind of count.
Collective,
Go
collective.
to, oh, we're still recording, that's right.
So the meeting is adjourned.
Yes, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Right, you're welcome.
Yeah, I just need,